If you can get two painters working full time for you, you will effectively completely replace your salary as a painter, right? So the incremental gross margin that one and then two painters will bring in for you, because you're no longer making money as a painter, you're only making money as the business owner. So the gross profit is what you're generating. So two painters, after paying all your overhead or everything, will replace. You'll make as much money painting full time as you will running two painters.
Welcome to the Painter Growth Podcast, where we help you scale your painting company in record time. Join us as we explore sales, marketing, hiring, finances, leadership, and more, everything that you need to know to scale and grow your painting business. I hope you enjoy and subscribe.
What's up, everyone? Mike Hickman here, founder of paintergrowth.com, and you're listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. As you can tell, I'm a little bit under the weather here, but I promised Claudia, my podcast manager, that I'd get an episode out for her today. So a couple things that I want to just chat about here. First of all, apologize, deal with my voice today, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a good one. And what I want to talk about today is really kind of the two biggest challenges in business. And I'm thinking about making a YouTube video out of this, and just like a little bit of higher production and more detail and things like this. And let me know in the comments. I think there's comments on the Spotify app for podcasts if this would be a good subject for a YouTube video. But basically, like, what are the two biggest challenges in any painting business as you're scaling? The first biggest challenge is getting off of the tools for the first time and trusting other people to do the work for you. And the second biggest challenge, from what we've seen now working with almost 1,000 painting contractors from all over North America, is the concept from going one crew to multiple crews. Right? Both cases, you are giving up a lot of control, and you are doing things that are not necessarily natural. It doesn't feel natural necessarily, because like when you're first starting out and you're painting all the time, it's like, well, I'm painting, I'm producing, I'm making money. But as you kind of grow and you grow your business and you have desires to grow, you actually very quickly need to realize, whether you realize it or not, you need to realize it, that painting is and will always be the least productive thing that you can do in your painting business, right? If you don't have desire to grow, to scale a business to multiple crews, get off the tools, like, of course, then you don't need to do that. You can just go complete jobs, bring on helpers when you need, and that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It is absolutely honorable to do that. However, you're listening to this, as you know, because you want to grow your company. It's the Painter Growth Podcast, not the Painter Stay the Same podcast. So as you kind of grow, you realize that, yeah, painting isn't the best use of my time. I should be doing estimates. I should be managing job sites. I should be, getting leads, putting together my marketing plan, setting up my door-to-door team, talking to my agencies, or doing my Facebook ads. Either working on marketing, working on sales, or working on the business. Those are the higher leverage activities. So it becomes a contest basically with yourself of how quickly can you get off the tools. So we've done the math before. I'm not going to do the math today. My brain isn't quite working for that. I'm not going to do the math for you, but basically, sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. If you can get two painters working full time for you, you will effectively completely replace your salary as a painter, right? So the incremental gross margin that one and then two painters will bring in for you, because you're no longer making money as a painter, you're only making money as the business owner. So the gross profit is what you're generating. So two painters, after paying all your overhead or everything, will replace. You'll make as much money painting full time as you will running two painters. So you need about twice as much work, but you'll get all of your time back. So you can spend all your time on sales, on marketing, and all the fun stuff in the bit, well, depending on what your definition of fun is, on the stuff that's not breaking your back painting 8 to 10 hours a day. So two painters, pretty low threshold to get there. So highly recommend doing that. And then the incremental gross profit is actually quite a lot. So if you have a painter working 40 hours per week at a charge rate of $85 an hour, 4.3 weeks per month, then that's $14,000 in top line revenue. And at a 50% gross profit, that's about $7,300 net every single month. So two painters is going to be $14,000 of gross margin, right? And then times that by two again. So if you can get four painters, now you're making $30,000 a month in gross profit, or $60,000 per month in gross revenue. So a lot of opportunity there just by getting to two crews, which is the second hardest thing to do in your painting business, is to go from one crew now to managing multiple crews, because everything now has to scale. What once was in your head now has to be documented and processed. And like, if you can treat 2 crews the same way as other businesses treat 8 to 10 crews, you will be in a much better position than just trying to firefight it, trying to grind it out. Because there's systems for all this. And if you're doing something in your business and you're like, this is very hard, this is very hard, it's complicated, like I don't think that I'm doing this right, like you're probably not. And it probably just means that there's an easier way to do it. And that's what we want to show you how to do. That's like what we do, right? And we can show you how to do it, because there is easier ways. It doesn't have to be hard. Painting businesses are actually very, very simple, right? It's not always easy. There's always like issues that pop up, of course, but it is a simple business model, which is nice because it's very scalable. And as you know, we have people on this podcast and friends of mine who are doing 10 million, 15, 20 million a year in residential, mostly residential repaints, which is great for you, because that means your model that you're in right now is very scalable if you treat it like that. So some of the systems that you need when it comes to going from one crew to multiple crews is, number one, you need really, really good job scheduling. So we have our production planner template that we use in Google Drive, Google Sheets. I think it's a lot better using that than just using like Google Calendar or a digital calendar, or even the Drip Jobs calendar. Sorry, Tanner. But I feel like it's looking at it on a calendar is only good to like maybe 3 crews. But you need to use like the way that our production schedule kind of works is that you can play chess with your business. You can see everything at once, how long they are, how many dollars, how many hours, what crews, and then you can just like play with the jobs like that on a high level. Really, really easy. Then you also need to have really consistent job costing and job costing per crew as well. So you can see if there's one of your crews that's producing more than the other. And again, this is just about getting in the habit of costing your jobs, being organized with your receipts, having really good management practices so that you know where your receipts are and you know what receipts you're going to cost to which job and things like that. And then it comes to your time management, right? As I've said like many, many times, the most important skill that you could ever learn is in painting or in business in general is time management. So how good can you manage your time? How effective are you at choosing the highest leverage activities at any given time and executing on those and only those, and not getting distracted by the high urgency, low importance type things, the things that your painters or your crew or your team or whatever should be dealing with, but you're jumping in and solving because you're like, hey, I know how to solve this, so I'm going to jump in, I'm going to do that, right? But that's not what you should be doing. You should be focusing on and trying to delegate those types of things. I know delegate is a big word and we're not going to get into that right now, but delegate those things right now and say no when it comes to, an opportunity for you to solve one of these low level tasks, because you're busy. And if you get distracted, if you're working on like building out your door-to-door team, or you're working on your Facebook ads or some new strategic marketing initiative or doing an estimate, and you get pulled out of that to go do something that you're only going to get $50 for, in theory, then, you just wasted potentially half your day. You only get so many kicks at the can when it comes to sitting down and doing deep work and doing the important stuff. And so if you get pulled out of that, or if you sit on Instagram, or if you get distracted, or you don't know what you should be working on, then you've just effectively wasted one of your main work blocks of the week. And then you're not going to get any further ahead. And that's like the biggest, fear that most people have. Maybe not the biggest fear that most people have, but it's the biggest fear that most people should have, is continuing to do the same thing over and over, right? Running your business for 20 years, being in the exact same spot. That doesn't mean you have 20 years of experience. It means you have 1 year of experience you've done 20 times. So doing things that are different, getting outside your comfort zone, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in your business, investing significantly into your business, into marketing, into coaching, into equipment, into development of yourself, right? So all of that needs to be reinvested so that you can move forward, so that you're not just taking, $50K a year and doing that forever, but you're taking, say, half of that $50K, $25K, and reinvesting that in your business and your development and your marketing. So that's how that goes. And I'm just going to, in the theme of investing in yourself, I just want to quickly plug the event that I'm speaking at tomorrow. So it's January 7th and January 8th. It's Liftoff. And Tanner Mullen's been putting this on for a few years now. And I'm speaking, I'm up third tomorrow, which is Tuesday, January 7th. My topic is called Build to Sell: How to Build a Company That's worth millions while doing what you love. And so that's going to be my topic. I'm going to be tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, or sorry, 9:30 Central, which is 10:30 Eastern. So if you want to come listen to my presentation there, I'm really proud of the presentation I put together. Spent more time in this presentation than I have on a lot of things. And I also have a really funny commercial that I'm going to be running. So I'll put the link to register for that in the chat or in the description below. But basically it's liftoff2025.com and you can sign up for free. It's 2 full days. I think it's like 16 speakers or something like that. There's some big names. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be speaking. And yeah, stoked to see you guys there. So if you have any questions, you guys know how to get a hold of me. I'm going to go rest a little bit. Hope this was valuable for you. And with that being said, you guys have a great week. Let's get after it.
Thanks for listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. If you want to grow your painting business, go to www.paintergrowth.com or click on the top link in the description. Talk soon.